Welcome back to the class, everyone. At the time we're recording this, the Galaxy of Heroes event server on Discord is in the middle of data mining a lot of information from this previous update. And while there is a lot going on, what matters most to me is bonus drops. More importantly, how to hoard for bonus drops. Now, one thing that I should mention right off the bat, because I know this can be confusing, this is not a double drops event. A double drops event is when pretty much everything in the game that is on a node will give you twice the amount of resources that it normally would. This is a bonus drop event, meaning that depending on the type of energy you spend, you will get a bonus resource, whether that be a shard or a chirotech material or something of the sort. This is, again, still currently being data mined, so we don't have 100% of the information rock solid, but we do have quite a bit of it. Most importantly, we know what characters are going to be on the respective nodes. And different from a lot of bonus drop events that we've gotten recently, these seem to be more thematic to the nodes than they do to a particular event. What I mean by that is, the last bonus drop event we had really focused around the Bad Batch, and they put one of the Bad Batch on each different type of node. Before that, they did a similar things with Gungans. This time around, it more so seems like they're just kind of doing it for funsies, and then they're matching the node. What I mean by that is, for Dark Side hard node energy, you are going to be getting additional drops of Oppo. Oppo is a newer character, but he was really part of the Lord Vader clone team, also the Tarkin raid team. In addition to that, for the light side hard nodes, we have the new Sabine character, a somewhat new character, but at the same time has nothing to do with Oppo or the raid or anything like that. But she is a light side character required for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. In addition to that, on Cantina, we have Ithano, who is a dark side character, but pirates are somewhat ambiguous in that sense. And he is actually the most recent and not even farmable at all. So probably going to be, at least for me, the most precious character from this entire release, because these drop rates have a tendency to not only be scaled to energy, so you can kind of farm whatever you want as far as that general energy goes, but they have a tendency to be very good with the energy that they give. And on Fleet, we have the Punishing one, which, as I said, these seem to be very thematic to the nodes, so Fleet, therefore this ends up being a ship. Now, there are a few other considerations that come along with this, and again, a lot of this information is being dug up as we speak, so I don't have all of it readily available. I do know for a fact that the chirotech computer will be available on the Fleet node if you already have Punishing one finished. This also leads me to believe that the other three types of energy that we've mentioned thus far will also get an additional bonus drop once you have finished the character shard. This has also been very consistent with the several last bonus drops that we've had, so this seems like a safe thing to count on. That being said, historically, the drop rates for the bonus material that drops after you have already finished the character shard, the drop rates typically are not that good. The shard seems to be about 3% per energy, so if you go up to a 20 energy node, you typically have a 60% chance of that shard dropping, which is fantastic. It's almost over double what a normal character would be. That being said, for these other materials like Omegas, Zetas, or Chirotechs, the drop rates never really seem they never see as good. They usually seem closer to like a 1% drop rate. So for example, for Cantina, if it does have Zetas, and I don't know if it does, you'll have to spend on average 100 Cantina energy just to get up to 1 Zeta mat. This all ends up becoming important in consideration because you may not actually need to hoard for this event or hoard for all these energies. Speaking of the various energies, I have not heard anything back on mod energy. I don't think it's actually going to be included. Number one, I did not see specific screenshots like I did for these that show like Sabine on light side, Oppo on dark side, and Athano on Cantina. In addition to that, it also just doesn't really fit the theme that they seem to be going for this time, where there's a ship on Fleet, there's an ambiguous character on Cantina, which allows both light side and dark side, and then a light side character with light side and a dark side character with dark side. So probably not the best to hoard that energy right now, and I actually like this a lot, because one of the issues that we run into with either double drops or bonus drops is that you still have to hit your overall 600 energy in game. Because if you do not do this, not only will your guild be mad at you, and they'll actually be mad at me too, because I will have told you not to, but you will also not be able to complete your dailies, which is a pretty important thing. So basically what I'm getting at is if you do need all these three characters, or all three of these characters, you can hoard Cantina, normal, and Fleet energy, and you can actually hit that 600 just by doing your normal mod energy throughout the day and buying 3 50 crystal refreshes. So that seems to be the optimal strategy this time around. Not always an option because sometimes the mod energy also has bonus and or double drops. That being said, actually getting back to our spreadsheet here, you can see that there is a pretty big problem than what we have usually. Usually we have 4, 5, 7 days in advance to actually be able to prep for hoarding for bonus or double drops. That is not the case. The bonus drops are going to be hitting on August 8th, aka 2 days from now. And if you're like me, you've already spent all of your energy for today, all of your normal energy, plus all the bonus that you get by doing your 50 crystal refreshes. So we're gonna have to play this a little bit differently, and this is actually what we had to do for the Bad Batch bonus drops that just recently happened in June. And what I am recommending for most people, and what I'm going to be doing myself, is start hoarding the 7th, aka tomorrow, depending on where you live and when this video comes out, which I will be trying to publish it immediately. So what's going to happen, or what's going to be advantageous for most of us, myself included, is don't do anything different today. Today is August 6th. I already have spent my 100 crystal refreshes for Cantina, so I can't really take advantage of hoarding in that way. Or if I can, it's just going to be up to the 144 max that is currently sitting on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat everything like normal. I'm going to go to bed spending all of my energies down. I'm going to wake up tomorrow, immediately blitz through my mod energy, make sure I hit that 600, and then I'm going to let the rest of my energy naturally accumulate through the day so that right before I go to bed, I'll take Cantina energy, which will probably be at 144 by then, and I can spend it down a little bit during the day if I need to make sure it caps at 144 at the end of the day. And then I'm going to spend 3 100 crystal refreshes, and then I'm even going to spend 2 200 crystal refreshes to really maximize this bonus drop event. Now, you may be asking yourself, or me rather, why is it justified to do the 200 crystal refreshes when typically it would only be optimal to do the 100 crystal refreshes? And the reason for it is the fact that the bonus drops, as I mentioned previously, are typically pretty good. And since there is always something that you need off of a Cantina node, it ends up justifying itself because you're paying 100 crystals for the Cantina refresh and then 100 crystals for the Athano shards, assuming that you do need them. It also applies to other nodes, not just signal data. That just happens to be what I need out of this. Now, I mentioned earlier, but I didn't really explain it. The reason why you only want to do 200 crystal refreshes for Cantina is because different than pretty much every other refresh in the game, once you pass into that third one, it will charge you 400. Do not do that. It is not a good deal. So again, you're going to have to edit this a little bit to your own preferences as to what you should be hoarding for. But for me, I already have Oppo and Sabine finished. It doesn't really make sense for me to hoard those energies. But if you really need to, you can pretty safely hoard all 4 of these because you can always fall back on mod energy. So overall, our recommendation is don't start hoarding now. Don't panic. Wait until tomorrow. Use what you need to use. And then when it comes to the end of the night, either do the 100 and 200 crystal refreshes on Cantina, assuming you can afford them, or if you're looking at normal or fleet energy, do the 50s and the 100s. You shouldn't hit the cap. 144 plus 6 refreshes will not get you all the way there, even for the non-normal energy. So that is going to be it for this hoarding video. Happy hoarding and drops to you all. Until the next time, stay awesome.